Welcome back to another tech video, guys. So for this video, I want to go over a tech concept that I don't know if it's necessarily new, but I know it's new to me. And naturally, it's something that's important to know, especially when it comes to computer networking, understanding how computer traffic flows and things like that. So wanted to touch on something called QoS, or quality of service, something that I'm noticing is popping up around more and more. That goes for advertisements, different pieces of technology, routers. Again, maybe it's an old concept that I'm just now getting hip to. Even on the new router that I just put into my mom's house, we just put a new router in, and it was one of the benefits, features that it had listed on the box that allows you to control how traffic is prioritized, which essentially is the whole thing. But let's go ahead and get into it. What is QoS, or quality of service? Shouldn't be a long video. We're just gonna go over the basics of it, and we'll leave it at that. I kind of just gave it away, but quality of service is it pertains to how traffic in a computer network is prioritized over different types of traffic. When certain categories of computer traffic or network traffic is prioritized over others, it makes it so that the more important traffic gets where it needs to go quickly and first over other types of traffic, which may be secondary, and it's not used for mission critical stuff. It's not used for stuff that's super important. The best way I can put it is that quality of service is that function that's kind of like that cop in the middle of the street that, for whatever reason, if the lights don't work, this guy's telling you to hold up and telling this other side to go, and then they tell that side you can go, and then these other people can go. It's kind of like that. It lets you know when you can go, where to go, all that stuff. And there's a few different reasons why quality of service is pretty important to understand, especially if you want to get on the more technical networking side of the tech world or the IT world. One of them is ensuring that performance in your computer network is smooth. Again, the same way when you're driving on the roads. If the lights were out, power was out or something, and cops weren't directing traffic, and you let people up to their own devices, someone's going to do something stupid. Eventually someone's going to crash, someone's going to make a turn they don't need to make, someone's going to get impatient waiting in line, and they're going to try to take a lane that's not actually a lane, or they're going to try to turn out of a lane that they're not supposed to turn out of because it's not a turning lane. Whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? Something's going to happen if you just leave people to their own devices. So again, just like that cop that's in the middle of the street directing all that traffic, quality of service allows everything to flow smoothly while still letting the traffic get where it needs to go in whatever fashion that works, so that there's no lag, there's no hiccups in the system, in the network, the network overall doesn't end up shutting down, stuff like that. So that's one of the main reasons that it ensures that the network runs smoothly and that all the traffic ultimately ends up getting where it needs to go. Another reason is that it manages network congestion. This pretty much is the same reason as the first, or at least another side of looking at it, because to understand this point, you need to understand something called bandwidth. Usually, if you apply this to people and you bring something up to them, whether it's at work or in their personal life, and they have a lot going on, people, especially the older we get, we start using the phrase of, I don't have the bandwidth to deal with XYZ. What they mean is they don't have the ability to juggle all this extra stuff at one time. They got enough going on. It's not that necessarily a crash has happened. It's not that something has broken or anything like that. It's just regular traffic. And a lot of people don't know this. This is something I learned in college. We actually had to take, I think it was an engineering course in college that explained this. Freeways are one of the biggest reasons that makes America successful or attractive, especially for people outside of America to come here, because it allows for transportation, quicker transportation, smoother transportation of goods, products, and services from one place to another, which allows our economy to thrive. The thing with freeways is engineers actually have to develop those freeways and take into mind how many lanes, how wide the lanes should be. They kind of have to get an idea of how many cars would we expect to pass through this freeway within a certain time period. How would this overall system work? Even if you let's scale it down. Even if you were just in a store like a TJ Maxx, a Walmart, a Macy's, a JCPenney, something like that, and you're trying to get to the cash register, and let's say the little rope velvet thing, it only suits like, let's say 5 people at a time max. But then the line gets to like 6, 7, 8, 9, where the case is, people start to get mixed up in terms of who was in front of who, because people start cutting in where the case is. It causes a certain level of congestion. And part of that is because that system was not built to support that many people passing through at one time. That's what leads to congestion. So even when it comes again to freeways, a lot of times you wonder, why the heck is there so much traffic, especially if there's no accident? Because those freeways were literally not designed to house that many cars or to allow that many cars to pass at that same time. That's why LA traffic is notoriously bad, or known for being bad with traffic pretty much around the clock, because those freeways were most likely not designed for LA to have the type of population that it has, and yet it's still building up. Same thing with New York. Same thing with Dallas. When I used to live down there, it wasn't like as bad, but it could be. Like there are times where even without an accident, 10 p.m., 9 p.m. at night, especially on like a random Thursday, maybe Friday night, sometimes you have box trucks and other just regular cars backed up on the freeway, and it wouldn't even be an accident. It would just be that there are too many cars passing through at one time for people to drive, fluidly enough so that traffic can, move quickly. So now people gotta be a lot more careful, unless they are intentionally trying to crash and they just being dumb. That's another thing with quality of service. It prevents or allows you to at least manage that congestion to make sure that the network doesn't try to take on more traffic they can truly handle, and then you start running into actual issues, especially like, say for example, denial of service issues that you yourself may cause, or that a threat actor like a hacker or something could notice and take advantage of and shut your whole network down. Another thing is improving user experience, which this pretty much is the bottom line of everything. Like any and everything when it comes to providing a service of some kind is specifically meant to improve your user experience. That's the bottom line. Everything that we cover, from making sure that there's no traffic congestion, making sure that the data runs smoothly, the network runs smoothly, people can get to and from wherever they need to go without there being any type of crashes, the network doesn't shut down, and all this other stuff, whether you're talking about computer networks or you're talking about actual traffic where people don't know how to act. Either way, it allows that whole process to run smoothly, with the bottom line of, say in real life in traffic, everyone makes it home safely, or everyone makes it to their destination safely. At the bare minimum, at least for that cop, so you can make it through my checkpoint safely, because I don't want to have to deal with no crashes. That's the whole thing. But the bottom line is to make sure that you, as the end user or the customer, the person that we're trying to help out, you're satisfied with everything that we're trying to do. That's the bottom line of it. But the other thing is making sure that everything performs well. There's no congestion, there's no accidents, none like that. Those are some of the more, I guess you could say, notable traits when it comes to quality of service. So we won't get into how QoS actually works. I want to keep this video a little bit more on the shorter side. So those are just a few of the key points. Very important to understand that, especially if you want to understand cloud computing, security plus information, just anything about computer networking, if you're trying to get into it or you just want to know it for the sake of knowing it. So I'll go ahead and leave that here, folks. Definitely suggest looking into it. If you want me to dive more into how QoS can be used, then go ahead and let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.